Here's a story. This version of it comes from the London Observer newspaper, but it's about an American. And so, therefore, it's okay to talk about it. Did I piss the Brits off? Good. Here it is. A family counselor turned author has caused outrage by claiming in his latest book that if women want to stop their partners from straying, it is their responsibility to stop them. Gary Newman, an American psychotherapist who has been featured on Oprah Winfrey's TV show and in Time magazine, has angered feminists by listing changes in behavior that women should make in order to keep their companions faithful. The tips, which Newman says are, quote, dedicated to helping wives, include always forgiving him, giving him sex on demand, that's a good one, lavishing praise on him for providing for the family, even if earning more than him, good idea, rarely letting him out on his own with friends or work colleagues. I don't think I'd go that far. And taking an interest in his hobbies. All right, so do you have that list? Let me give it to you again so you don't forget. Always forgiving the husband. Giving the husband sex on demand. Lavishing praise on the husband for providing for the family even if the woman earns more. Rarely letting the husband out on his own with friends or work colleagues. And taking an interest in the husband's hobbies. It says here not all women appreciate Newman's advice. Is it a joke book? Asked Dorothy Ramsey, chairwoman of the Association for Family Therapy. You could try this approach, I suppose. It depends whether you see marriage as so worthwhile that it's worth sacrificing one human being to sustain it. Well, don't get so excited there, darling. I don't think marriage is worthwhile at all. But there you go. She says this country, meaning the United Kingdom, has moved on from that stance. It's okay if you expect one half of the couple to live in misery because they're constantly twisting themselves into contortions to serve their partner's needs. Listen, if you do not want to serve my needs, you do not need to marry me. You know what? I'll continue living alone. Simple as that. In the world where I'm always right, in the world where I do good things, tasteful things, fun things, in the world where having flat-screen TVs in the living room is okay, in the world where drinking too many beers is all right, in the world where smoking weed is not going to be critiqued or criticized, I'll just keep living in that world. Jeez. Says here the author, that's Gary Newman, whose book, The Truth About Cheating, Why Men Stray and What You Can Do to Prevent It, is published this week, insisted that he was just helping to offer women a helping hand. He said, my work is dedicated to helping wives to learn and change in ways that will significantly benefit both them and their husbands. By the way, you remember, we did not need a book. I gave you, ladies, 8 words to save your marriage. Remember the 8 words? Stay thin, long hair, sex anytime, shut up. I think you could save half the marriages right there with those 8 words. I do. Says here, Newman surveyed 25,500 faithful and unfaithful men before drawing his conclusions. He found that 69% of those who cheated had never previously considered it a possibility, while almost 90% linked their cheating to, quote, some significant dissatisfaction in their marriage. Newman added, if a husband has already cheated, his wife's role is to recognize that she needs to change. And that's because we don't want to be married. When you get right down to it, we don't want to be married. We get married because you force us to, you expect us to, because we're pussies and we give in to it. But the reality is we don't want to be married. And this is our way of passively, aggressively acting out. Cheating. I did it, so I know. I mean, I finally had to come to the realization that I just did not want to be married. And I was tired of people telling me that I needed to be married. Newman said, men will eventually find their way into the arms of another if they are not getting enough sex at home. Sex for men is the equivalent of the loving comment and thoughtful gesture for the woman. In short, when you give what your husband wants, he'll give a great deal back to you. Susan Quillian, a relationship psychologist and author, said, this is an appalling book. It's more like dog training a man than being in an honest, successful adult relationship with him. Oh, really? I'm wondering if, now that you know what this book is about, if you think that it's an appalling book. You tell me.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Like it.
You're like a godfather to me. Every word you say, I just do it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. We are talking about a book by one Gary Newman. The book is called The Truth About Cheating, Why Men Stray and What You Can Do to Prevent It. In the book, Dr. Newman, a psychotherapist, says that, well, quite simply, you have to give your husband what he wants. You have to give him what he wants, which isn't all that different from what your professor has been telling you. Bottom line. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Not much.
Hey, I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener. I'm going to have to say I agree with those points. I mean, at the end of the day, in a relationship, you know, guys want anything that their woman will give them and more.
Well, the fact is, I just believe that women stop trying to please their man the minute they get the man to marry them.
And that's where they go wrong.
That's why men cheat.
Absolutely. And I can say I'm not married, but, you know, you can say the same for just any relationship. Once the guy stops getting what he wants, then he will go elsewhere. And I'll be the first one to admit I've done that.
I'm the second one. Actually, I think I was the first one to admit it, but hey.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's true. You know, and by the way, women stop looking sexy, they gain weight, they chop their hair off, they start saying no all the time. And really, you guys were thinking about getting married, and you think you've got the only one who's different. You're going to find out the hard way.
That's
Ryan,
right.
I've rendered you speechless, so I'm going to move on, but I thank you. Lisa on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi,
a random listener, first-time caller. This subject is it's a sore subject with me. I can't disagree with this Dr. Newman. I can't agree with him enough. I can't agree with him enough. I just I just got out of a divorce. I just divorced my husband. I've been with him for 3 years. I am considered hot by both female and male, both. I'm 40 years old. I probably look like I'm maybe in my 30s, early 30s. I have a fantastic body. I'm like 120, but I did everything my husband wanted me to do. I'm even a great cook. I would entertain his friends by, let them come over, drink, do whatever they want, serve great meals, do whatever they wanted in bed, look hot, long hair. Just, I think I'm the total package. And just what this subject is about, I know that, perhaps there are some men out there who aren't getting what they want from their women, but I totally disagree with that. I think that a woman should do what she can to make herself look really beautiful for her husband and do all those things. But apparently I was with a pig. He was a professional by trade, and I think that I totally disagree. I did all the above, and he was just a pig. He's on the internet.
Yeah, but look. Just because you might be the exception to the rule doesn't mean the rule isn't correct.
Well, what I'm saying is I just disagree, because women can be out there looking hot for their husbands, going along, taking up golf with them, doing all the things they want them to do. Let them go to Vegas.
If men are just naturally cheaters, why marry one?
Yeah, well, you're right about that. You got me there, because, there was red flags there, and I probably should have noticed that. But, they promise you, and they're sorry, and, yeah, probably so. I would
let's face it. For the most part, even if a guy is the one who comes up with the idea to get married, it's because he thinks that's what you want, and he thinks that's how he's going to keep you off the market. I mean, guys don't want to be married.
You're absolutely right. You're right about that. That's exactly what he admitted to, too.
Of course. So the reality is, guys don't want to be married. We don't want to be in that kind of relationship. Some do, yes, but generally speaking, if we could do it without being married, we would.
Okay, but still, Tom, you're saying that there are just some men out there that are just going to cheat. Okay, and I did agree with that. And then men don't want to get married, and he married me just to keep me. Okay, so he did that. But he still had it all. So, I guess what you're saying, that he's just going to cheat anyway. So
he didn't have it all. He was married.
Right. Okay.
Having it all means you can have whatever you want, which includes, if another woman comes along once in a while, you can have her like we have them before we get married. Let me give you an example. Again, you may have given it to him anytime, any way he wanted it, anywhere. All right, fine. But most women don't. All right. So let's review. You're with a woman, and you only see her on the nights she feels that she looks great, smells great, tastes great, and on the nights that she wants to have sex.
Okay.
And a lot of guys don't realize this. A lot of guys just think, oh, she was busy this night, or that night she had to be with her friends or whatever. But the reality is that when you're dating, women only see you on the nights they want to have sex.
Okay.
So when you get married, you now find out the reason you were only having sex once or twice or 3 times a week is not because she didn't have time or because the two of you couldn't get your schedules coordinated. It's because that's all she ever wanted. So now the man thinks, we're getting together and I'm going to be getting it 6 ways from Sunday. Then he finds out he's at best getting what he was getting before. The reality is, though, that he was getting more than that before because he was dating other women to fill in the gaps. She may have been having sex 3 times a week. He was having it 7 times a week.
Okay, so but God, you take a hot body over frickin' phone sex. It doesn't make any sense to me,
Because here's the part that women can't understand, okay?
Yeah,
see,
tell me.
There is no emotion involved in sex for men. Ejaculation is like urination. It's the same thing for a man. It is a need we have. You need a drink of water. You need to go to the bathroom. You need to change the oil in your car. I mean, it's just a need we have. And so whether it's phone sex or looking at a photo or looking at a video or whatever, we're going to get that need met.
Okay. So what you're basically saying then is if a hot woman meets a hot man, there's a good chance then that after marriage, the relationship is going to go sour anyway because he just wants quantity versus quality.
Well, no, but he wants the quality when he wants it, anytime he wants it, anywhere he wants it. Because that's what he was getting before he was with you.
Okay. Well, that's bad. I still, this doesn't make any sense now because I'm at a point now where I don't want to have any sex with anybody. So I just don't want the same thing. But I've heard that women are emotional when they do have sex. I just don't want to be out there doing it and being done, just getting it done. And don't get me wrong, I love sex. I just love to do, every man I thought was hot. But,
but don't kid yourself.
I value my body.
Well, no matter what men tell you. Now, I'm speaking as a man.
Okay.
So I'm not defending men. I'm just telling you how it is.
Okay.
No matter what a man tells you, he's really starting to feel something for you. He thinks he's falling in love with you. He is in love with you. He loves you. The reality is he has this physical need, and he's going to get it met.
Oh, my God.
And if you say no on a given night, he's going to feel entitled to go get it elsewhere. That includes the nights you're tired or you've got the flu or you don't feel like it or you had a bad day at work or whatever reason you have. You've got to remember, back when you were dating him, if you had a bad day at work, you'd say, why don't we just get together tomorrow? And he was fine with that.
Right.
And you were fine with him being fine with that. What he didn't tell you and what you didn't know is after you hung up the phone and took the hot water bottle and put it on your stomach and laid back down to watch TV and read Cosmo, whatever you were doing, he was calling the next number on the list.
No, you're right. Oh, my God. You're so right. You're always right.
And you didn't know that because what's he going to do, tell you?
Yeah,
he's got to keep up this charade that there's some kind of emotional attachment.
I know.
So you want to believe that he's sitting home watching the ball game or that he's with his buddies or something. But the reality is...
argument, though, Tom, is just that it's not true, though. I mean, we give it up. We do what we're supposed to do. You're saying a psychologist wrote this book. I just disagree with it, though. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
no, I know you disagree with it, but you have to understand, even if you were giving it up anywhere, anytime, and I can't... Nobody does that, by the way.
I just think it's about pleasing your man as long as I'm going to be pleased, too. And, he works for it. If, he buys me nice things. He does nice things. I, have a great lifestyle. It's why not?
What most women forget, though, is he gave you the ultimate gift. He signed a contract.
That was not an ultimate gift. I gave him the gift for marrying me.
No,
and the sad thing is he just didn't keep that up. So, no, he didn't give me an ultimate gift.
When it was all over, did you get any money in the bargain? Any goods and services?
Oh, yeah, I did. And
but you see,
I
that's
didn't get
my
money
point.
because he was willing to give it to me, because, it would have been disaster. He was doing his frickin' patience. So, married or single. In my backyard.
But you see, there was the gift at the end. You had insurance.
Yeah. With a lot of threats, yes.
Well,
because, Tom, it wasn't that long of a marriage either. It was less than 2 years, but I got a nice sum out of him because of that.
But
I also left a very nice life. So, it was really sad because what I had, what I gave up was just it's just a big slap in the face to me now. So,
well, wait a minute. Think about it. Wait. Now more is coming out about your story. So you married later. Wait, was it your first marriage?
No. I lost my first husband to cancer. So.
Okay. So you were married, you were in your 30s when you got married the second time?
Yes.
Yes. And you married a well-to-do guy?
Yes.
And I see you're calling from Newport Beach, so it was Orange County.
Yes.
And he was a doctor of some kind?
No, I mean, that was my second one. My third, this last one is the doctor.
Okay. And so, the guy, clearly, he lives in Orange County. He's a doctor. And before he met you, he could have sex with anybody and everybody, and he was.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah.
So by marrying you, yes, he was giving you a gift because he could have continued having sex with anybody and everybody, but he signed a contract, which resulted in you getting cash.
No, he begged me to marry him, Tom. I didn't say, hey, dude, marry me. I never said that.
But he begged you to marry him. He begged you to marry him because, as he admitted to you, that's what he thought you would want.
Well, yeah, you're probably right.
And you did.
I didn't. Let's just say I did, but I thought it was a little soon, and he really talked me into it. He pretty much just said, "Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it this day," and so I just did. I shouldn't have, but I did. So I was talked into it.
But you were talked into it because he had cashola. He was a doctor.
No, it wasn't a cash thing at all. You know, I probably,
like I said, I gave
up.
If he worked at a new apartment building in Irvine, holding the sign that says "Now Renting" and an arrow pointing at the building, and would you have jumped into marriage with him?
Would I have?
Yes, if he was holding the sign that said, if you lived here, you'd be home by now, would you have jumped into marriage with that guy?
No.
No, you did it because he was a doctor. No. You did it because he had cash, and that's why you ignored the signs.
No, it was with somebody a lot better and bigger than that. So that's what I'm saying. I left something bigger and better than that.
Wait, you left somebody for him? Wait. Now it's getting more interesting. You left somebody else for him.
Yeah.
And so you met him before you left the somebody else.
Yeah, well, I'd actually known him before, and I just gave him a second chance. That's what happened. You know,
but you were with somebody else.
Yes.
So let's review. You bolted on somebody else to be with him, and then instant karma slapped you in the face.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I did, you know, I try to do it the nice way, prompt comments, but it just, you're right, karma. I hate to admit to that, but it's like, oh, God.
That's what it is.
Well, maybe not. It
looks to me like the guy had more in common with you than you think.
Oh, stop. That is not true. That is so not true.
You don't even believe it yourself when you say it's not true. Listen to you.
No. Because a person like this, just, you know, there's not a lot of people, at least... How was
what he did worse what you did to the previous guy?
The previous guy, you know, sometimes, Tom, you talk about it, women gold diggers and want money out of people and stuff like that. I was the opposite. It was, like, too much for me. It was like, hey, I don't want to be bought.
But you certainly took the cash payment when it was over.
Oh, on that third one, you had to. I mean, you know, he owed it to me, for crying out loud.
Hang on a second. Let me get Dave on here. Dave, what did you want to say to Lisa?
Well, let me tell you, I've been listening to her, and it's just funnier than hell for the simple reason that, I mean, you stop and think for a minute, when he asked you to marry you, he didn't know any better, obviously. And women are kind of like cars, the way I see it. I mean, it's great to have that nice classic car sitting in the garage and everything, but wouldn't it be nice to go out and test drive a Corvette once in a while? I mean, that's the same thing with being married. I mean, you're married, you're doing the same thing over and over and over. And granted, you're giving them, 6 ways from Sunday, but, 6 ways from Sunday can be kind of boring with the same person all the time. So it'd be great to, go out and, drive that Corvette every once in a while, see what else is out there. And then, so you got that, reliable old classic sitting in the garage. But going out, checking out a nice sparkly new model, ain't nothing bad with that. It's
easy to say that. I mean, if you really just, just want to be out for fun and games, and some people do. But if you're going to marry someone, the commitment, and if she's given what you want, I'm just saying that there's no reason. She's keeping herself, there's no weight coming on. Her body looks great. She's, Miss Socialite. She's doing all the stuff that she's supposed to do. On top of letting you go on your boys' trips, on top of that, give me a break. There's not a lot of women who would do that. So what I'm saying,
man is not designed to be a monogamous creature. Man is not designed that way. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's just a history of time. So, all you need to do is go out and find yourself some play toys, find yourself a little F-buddy every once in a while, and have a good time, and don't worry about it, because all these broads out there, that are there saying, oh, I got the golden, hooch and all this other stuff, that's just not out there. Trust me. I'm 49 years old. I got 4 kids, and I've been married for 22 years, and I tell you what, it gets boring after a while. Trust me. And I teach my kids. I've been teaching my kids, the same thing Tom's been saying, since they've been old enough, before I even started listening to Tom Leykis.
And
it's just like I found
this 50 years or something.
Guy on the radio.
You might start looking at younger chicks and, really getting excited about that. But, in a very new relationship, I just think it's absurd, and I just think that he's just a pig. He's just a pig.
I'm glad.
All right, Dave, thank you. Let me get one more in here if I can. Let me say hi to Ryan. Ryan, what did you want to say to Lisa? Oh, try this one.
She can't
Hello?
shut her yap long enough to hear what's going on.
Oh, boy. Tell her.
I mean, you've talked nonstop, but you're not hearing what Tom's saying. What it comes down to is every man needs strange. That's it. Bottom line.
Yeah, well, I got that. I totally got that now because he's been tested without even knowing about it. And I realized that it's about just getting it however he could get it. And it's pretty scary. You know, it really is. So,
well, maybe he's got bad selection criteria, but the bottom line is every man is as faithful as his options is the bottom line.
Okay, well, yeah, I learned my lesson, Tom.
And by the way, what he says is true. Let me give you the nuts and bolts of what Ryan is saying, because I have used that expression on this program many, many, many times, that a man is only as faithful as his options. Let's face it, the guy holding the sign that says now renting outside the apartment building, that guy doesn't have any options. He doesn't have secret cell phones, secret post office boxes. He doesn't have the ability to travel. He can't afford a hotel room for a night. That guy is going to be a lot more faithful.
Hello?
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
Hello?
I guess not. Love that. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. I have no idea. Lisa, can you hear me now?
I think I got cut off.
Well, I'm here now. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
All right. I will repeat what I just said. You're still not hearing me. All right. We'll try to fix that problem when we get off the air. In the meantime, Ryan and Lisa, thank you so much for the calls. Appreciate it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Leykis.
I, for one, believe they ought to have personal ads in the Auto Trader.
Not a bad idea.
You know, there are women out there who could advertise themselves as a 97 BMW.
Not a bad idea.
You know, 86 Mercedes.
It's a language.
You know, those Real Housewives of Orange County. You know, those are like 89 Mercedes with the boob jobs and stuff. You know, I mean, they were a comfy ride for somebody back around 1989, 88, something like that.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate it. We are talking about a book by one Gary Newman. The book is called The Truth About Cheating, Why Men Stray, and What You Can Do to Prevent It. And essentially says that wives are to blame if men cheat. And you know what? To a certain extent, he's right. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Candy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Candy.
How are you today?
Doing great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for putting me on. Well, as I asked Dean, my question is, why? Okay, we know the reasons why, men get it wherever they can, whenever they can. The scientific reasons why. That's the difference between men and women, as you said. Now, I understand that, and I just want to know, as a 21-year-old who's currently in a relationship, yes, I know I have a boyfriend that's horrible. We're both constant listeners to you, so we both know better. But anyways, how am I able to grasp that and be able to live happily? Because I admit, I get kind of mad when my boyfriend looks at porn on the computer. You know what I mean? I don't know. How do you understand that information and just be happy with yourself?
Do you cook for your boyfriend?
Yes, sir, I do.
How do you feel when he eats other food?
Really don't care that much. Cause
why not?
I didn't have to cook it.
And you know what? When he looks at porn on the computer, you didn't have to be there turning him on.
That's true.
He had needs, and for whatever reason, you were not fulfilling them. Maybe it's because you were sleeping. Maybe you were sick. Maybe you were at work. Maybe you were busy.
See, now, I might have to beg to differ. I might be wrong, though. He is, I guess, like any 22-year-old male. He wants it constantly every second of the day. So
right.
Am I weird for thinking that, or that's just normal?
That men want it every second of the day when they're 22?
Yeah.
No, that is normal. And again, if that's too much for you, you shouldn't be stuck in a relationship.
That's true.
See, one of the benefits of not being in a relationship, even for women, there are benefits to it. Now, let me give you an example. Just as I told you, when a guy is unattached, he can get it 3 times a day if he wants it. 3 different women every day. Mm-hmm. You have the option of saying no.
Right.
Because you could say, well, let's get together tomorrow. I don't feel good today. Or, let's get together on Saturday. You can do that.
Right.
Right? Now, he's going to be getting it other places in the meantime. But let's face it, if you've got different sex drives, why should he suppress his to satisfy you?
That's true. Because we all have our own needs.
We do.
Okay, so trying to look at this logically, if I'm not willing to give it every day, then I shouldn't be surprised if he goes and gets it fulfilled, whether it be on the computer or even physically. I'm not ruling out that option because they are animals. We all are animals. Now, okay, and about the cheating thing in regards to the book. Now, I'm going to go buy this book and personally read it because I'm interested to know. I've often, heard that it's scientifically for men, it's okay to cheat because, they have that need. But for women, we do it on an emotional basis. So therefore, it's not okay. You know what I mean? It's not okay if we cheat as well because we do it because we're emotional. Men do it because they have a need. Now, would you agree with that? What's your opinion on that?
Well, if you're not in a relationship, it's not cheating.
Mm-hmm. Say if you are.
It's only cheating because you insist on having a relationship.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
I mean, it isn't cheating if you live alone and you have no commitments.
And say if it's the opposite, though. Say if you do happen to live with somebody, then I know you're against living with each other, but say you do happen to live with each other and you do have a commitment.
I do not see the benefit of it for anybody.
That's true.
I mean, if you can't afford your apartment, that might be a benefit. But other than that, I don't see why you need to live with a person. What's the point of it?
Everybody has different reasons, but truthfully, I mean, being a 22-year-old person, I don't think there really is. I can see where you're coming from in that because, it's the prime of your life, Well, it's going to be the prime of your life until you're about 30. But for
here's the other thing. Our life expectancy has gone up. The average woman dies now at 81. Average man, 77. You're 21.
Right.
You really need 60 years of togetherness?
I can understand, yeah. A lot can happen in 60 years, and what are you going to miss out if you're with somebody?
A lot will happen in 60 years. How much of that time will you waste being hooked up to somebody, tethered to somebody, who doesn't completely satisfy you? Or you don't completely satisfy them?
Yeah, that would be considered a big waste. You are right.
So then why do it?
Well, I see this is where we're all entitled to our own bias. I'm pro-marriage, so I'm gonna
but again, see, a lot of people are pro-marriage without asking themselves why.
Well, my current answer at 21 years of age is I'm pro-marriage, but I really don't know the reasons why, and I will probably find out the reasons why later.
I mean, look, there might be a good reason. A good reason would be you can get money if things don't work out. As a woman, that's a good reason to get married.
See, that's where and I have to say I'm an exception to the rules because for being my age, I have a very decent job in sales.
Well, you're saying that now, but the minute you find him having sex with your best friend or having sex when you're not looking, you'll want money.
Right. That's true. Every girl does. They feel they have that they need that compensation for what
they can't imagine the guy they're with ever having sex with someone else. But when they do, you'll want money. So there's a benefit.
Right.
But really think about what that sounds like. I want to get married because if things don't work out, I want money. But that's what it really is.
Yeah. That's true. And another thing, let me ask you this, because lady that just called, you know, she sounded like a very nice lady, pretty hot and all, but you're not really at the prime of your life when you're in your 30s. I mean, come on. I know you have a preference for the younger ones, and I know you can strongly agree with me. Physically, you're at your prime when you're 20s. So how do you feel when you have all these, you know, older ladies? Granted, they're your listeners, wonderful. We're happy you have them. But how do you feel when they call in saying, I'm the full package and I'm 30 years old?
Well, you see, you're hearing the reasons why I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the total package. That's why it's like having a used car that says I'm the total package. You know, yeah, it's my third marriage. I'm the total package. Well, you know, for me, the total package just drove off the showroom floor.
Exactly. And me stepping into the bar at 21, trust me, I have a lot of the, I guess you could say, experienced lookers always looking my way. So
that's right.
Well, Tom, it is a pleasure. I just wanted your opinions on that. My boyfriend and I are constant listeners. We love you so much, and I agree with a lot of everything, pretty much almost everything you say. Even though I'm a woman, I don't want to admit it, I do. And you're the best. Take me out with a bong toke and a thank you, Jesus.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Jesus.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Chad on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, listen, there was a point I wanted to make. Actually, a couple of them, but it was funny when I was in a relationship. My partner, my girlfriend, would always say, "I just want a guy who's honest. I just want a guy who tells the truth. I'm tired of all the little lies and things like that. I just want a guy who's honest." But when things like this come out, you know, where it's, see, guys don't talk in code. We say what we want. Women will say one thing that mean another. Guys, it's like, this is what it is. And when something like this, an article comes out, and the honesty, so to speak, just smacks them in the face, they can't handle it. It's got to be somebody else's fault. No, it can't possibly be my fault. It can't be. What couldn't possibly be the reason for me why my husband cheated? It has to be him. And it's like it. Again, women say they want honesty, but in actuality, they can't handle it when it's handed to them. And I'm saying, if there's any women listening to this show right now, if I, as a guy, were to profess that I know more about women than women do, they would think that's the most ridiculous, preposterous thing to say. But in a lot of cases, and especially on this one, women will call in and profess to know more about men than men do. And I think it's a ridiculous standard. And maybe, you know, in some cases they're right. Maybe the man they have that they brag about was, you know, maybe they were lucky enough to get a domesticated house cat as opposed to a lion, a pussy, if you will, who won't fight back. Maybe they're lucky enough to get one of those. But most guys are lions. You know, monogamy is a cultural rule, not necessarily a natural rule. Not all societies and communities practice monogamy. You know, it's more of a cultural thing. But, you know, I was going to say the last thing, one of the other reasons I think that men cheat is because when you get into a relationship, the sex comes with little tag-alongs, like earmarks, if you would say. It's like, you know, I don't want to have sex right now. We still have to take the kids to soccer. I don't want to have sex right now. The trash isn't taken out. I'm looking at our kitchen and the cabinets. They look old. Do we have money for new cabinets? We don't. Well, guess who's not getting sex tonight if you don't have money for the cabinets?
It's true.
And so men can go off and look and find something that's unattached. There's no strings attached. It's no pressure. Kind of like how it used to be when you dated. When you can just pick them up, go out on an easy date, maybe dinner, maybe a movie, hang out, have fun, do your thing physically, and then each person gets to go their own way. Then you get married, and it starts to get attached with all these others. Like you were saying earlier, I had a bad day at work. I don't feel like doing it right now. And women don't understand that. It's the truth hitting them in the face, and they don't want to hear it. And we're not speaking in code here. This is exactly how it is. We're telling women this is it. I know there's exceptions to the rule, but flat out, this is bottom line. This is what it breaks down to. And this book, I mean, from the things you read out of it, it's right on the nail. It hits the nail right on the head.
Yeah, these are the things that I really don't think women can handle. When I tell women, you know what, the nights that you say, let's get together tomorrow night, he calls the next number in the book. Now, you tell us now, as we're saying this, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And what's funny is that women all want the high-profile guy. It's funny, like when the thing happened with Kobe, I was just like, if you were to marry Kobe Bryant, a young, rich, athletic man, that, I mean, all the Lakers could walk out into an airport terminal, and you wouldn't recognize a lot of them, but if you saw Kobe Bryant, like, oh, that must be the Lakers. If you're
absolutely right. Hey, thanks a lot for the call, Chad.
The Tom Leykis Show.